Before we do anything, I would like everybody to know two things. One, this tiara, I will never let it go, okay? That's part of who I am. It's part of my brand. It's part of my life. It's part of my religion, my spiritual practices. You want to take that away from me? That's discrimination. Second, I'm sitting downstairs in my basement on a stool. I think slippers are fine, and they do match. So, I don't care to hear your opinions to the contrary. Eat shit. Mwah. Happy days, my name is Daisy Maize, and welcome back to my brand new, it's not brand new, we're on season 2, it's not brand new. I don't know why I keep saying that, I just really like to say it because it makes me feel young. Welcome to my currently reigning, long-standing, and longevity-possessing YouTube series, Booning and Baining. That's right. This is the series where I, your hostess, Daisy Elizabeth Devereaux Dupree Sinclair Mays, it's my full name. I haven't given it to my drag daughter yet because, I want her to earn each one of those names. Like she's collecting Dragon Balls or something. She doesn't get the wish until she gets all of them. Anyway, this is the series where I, your hostess, Daisy Mays, take a seemingly irrelevant topic that didn't ask for this, doesn't want it, and really doesn't deserve it. And I absolutely dissect it within an inch of its life. And the poor little thing just crawls away, dies in the corner of my basement somewhere. And I think that's like really sexy or whatever. So I was feeling some special type of way when I was sitting down to think of who the fuck is speeding down this residential street? Your dick is so small. And I would know. Whoever has a loud car and drives it fast to be loud, I hope you know that the rest of us think you are such a fucking fool. Such a fucking fool. And that's coming from this. You are a fool. You are an idiot. Live with that. And know that it is the God's honest truth. I'm not even a religious woman. Or a woman at all. And I know this to be true. I don't need friends. They disappoint me. So yeah, today I was in a silly little mood where I wanted to talk about something for this topic that was both equal parts fantasy cutesy princessy and equal parts a legitimate piece of history across the world in many different cultures and in many different forms. And aside from tax and death, I could really only think of one other thing. Royalty. Nobility. The kings, the queens, the princesses. Looking at you, Sugar and Spice. Drag princesses though you may be. The queen is speaking. And also the king. It is raining outside because of course it is. Whenever I sit down to film, it is either raining or snowing or thunderstorming or the boiler's acting up. Whatever it is. My nose is running like nobody's fucking business again. Hang on. So yes, we are talking about royalty. That is today's topic of booning and baining. And girl, there's a lot to talk about. I don't love picking these vague topics because, it's hard. There's so much to talk about. I like to pick hyper-specific, stupid things that I can hyper-fixate on because that's fun. And it makes my little autistic brain very happy. Now, I will say I haven't been tested for autism, but it does run in the family, and I have demonstrated a lot of the signs, so tentative-tism. My sister calls hers her touch of the tism. Love it. Anyway, so royalty. Let's start off with the positives as we are always want to do. Until I decide not to. Boon number 1 for royalty. What in the Tim Curry? How do you do? I see you've met my faithful handyman. Boon number 1 of royalty is that it's the opulence. It's the opulence, okay? There's a reason we're drag queens, not drag peasants, okay? Because we emulate that parody of opulence, with our crazy cartoonish jewelry, with our little crowns and tiaras and shit, with our desire to be above all other queens. Royalty really does feature into drag a lot because of its innate opulence. It's really fucking pretty. When you look at these palaces, these castles that have been absolutely decked the fuck out, pimp my motherfucking Elizabethan ride. So a carriage, I guess. It's really fucking cool. If you ever have the chance to visit the palace at Versailles, go do that in France. I haven't gotten to visit it, but I learned all about it in French class in high school, and I want to go so badly. I love French. Je peux parler un peu de français, mais je ne suis pas très bon. I can only speak a little. J'ai étudié à l'école pour 4 ans, 5 ans. A lot of good it's done me, bitch. Although one of the guys at my work speaks French because he's half like French, Swiss, or whatever. I don't know. He speaks French, so every now and then we practice with one another, which is nice. He is a heterosexual, and that's okay. We're not gonna fault him for that, okay? Well, you can fault him for that. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. For what? But this has been far too positive. I can't handle any more positivity. It's disgusting. Let's not keep it positive. We'll just smack her to the floor. Bane number 1 is also the opulence. You knew this was coming at some point. We might as well get this bitch out of the way sooner. Royalty is known for, Marie Antoinette let them eat cake. She never said that, but like, although you know what, I still watch that Mr. Peabody and Sherman movie, and every time Marie Antoinette is on screen, I just feel so bad for her. I love Marie Antoinette. She's so fucking cool. That's a historical figure that I would love to vibe with. She seemed chill as fuck. She seemed awesome. Hella rad. It's not her fault that shit, was kind of designed for her to fail. That's not her fault. She didn't help it, but point is, the opulence of royalty can often lead the public to not particularly sympathize with them. How many rich, famous, royal, divinely attributed people do you know that you think, yes, that's salt of the earth. Salt of the earth, that's my brother. That's my friend. That's my pal. My palorama. I don't. When Queen Elizabeth died, I could not understand why everybody was so upset. I was like, there's like 4 more in line. We'll get another. My cat died today. Get a new one. I fucking love that TikTok. It's so good. So yeah, royalty is opulent, and that's boon number 1 and bane number 1, because girl, that is a double-edged sword if I have ever fucking seen one. Let's see if we can find something positive about them, okay? Boon number 2. You know what? I've got a good one for boon number 2. Here's a very good one, actually. Boon number 2 is fairy tale representations of royalty. Royalty is an excellent tool for telling a great fairy tale, for telling a great fantasy story. What would a fantasy story be without kings and queens and princesses and princes and duchesses and dukes? That's the other one. Dukes. Duke Nukem's. Fantasy Duke Nukem. Somebody make that D&D character right now. Roll them up. Roll up Fantasy Duke Nukem with the energy of Fantasy Costco. Fantasy Costco, where all your dreams come true. Gotta do for you. I love the Adventure Zone. So yeah, think about your Disney princesses. Where would we be without them? Where would we as drag queens be without them? Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. We'd be dead. Dead and buried. If it wasn't for Belle from Beauty and the Beast, I would have already fucking chopped my head off. If Jasmine hadn't put her hand out when Aladdin asked if she trusted him and said, yes, and then flown off to a whole new world, I would have fucking locked myself in the garage and turned on the car. If Vanellope Von Schweet had not embraced her glitchery and used it to win the races in Sugar Rush, I would have quit drag and immediately started a job as an office accountant with a 401k and like really good health insurance and dental, which to me is the same as killing myself. For those of you just joining us, hi, my name is Daisy Maize and I am like this all the time. So yeah, it's a great trope. Bane number 2 is that nobody fucking knows what to do with this trope, okay? Fantasy royalty is always depicted so strangely. Like, it feels like writers don't know what the fuck to do with it. They have a king or a queen or a princess or something. They don't know what to do with these characters. If they're the main characters, God help us, they're probably just, stereotypes. That one had some staying power to it, bitch. Damn. Did you hear that gurgle into Succession? Loved that. Speaking of Succession, royalty. Yeah. Nobody seems to know how to... Would you get out of my earring? What is wrong with you? I like these earrings. I bought them from Walmart. With money this time. Where was I? Oh yeah. Writers don't seem to know. They're royal characters in a lot of modern fantasy, and it's just, you see a lot of the same. You see a lot of this person is an NPC who exists to further the plot, or you see, I'm new and quirky and I'm not like other Disney princesses. Yeah, Disney runs into this problem a lot. Who's the queen in Wish? Amara, right? I'm firmly on board. She should have also been a villain. That would have been fucking great. That would have been so cool. So great. Evil villain couple. Love that. Instead, it's just every character in that fucking movie. And I mean, it's not just Disney. Listen, I love Elder Scrolls Online. Love it. Play it whenever I have a minute. I think I've done the same quest for about 40 different kings and queens at this point, and similar ones for a few princes and princesses too. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, we love formulaic, but it does help to branch out a little bit every now and then. Now, I haven't played any of like the main title games of Elder Scrolls. You know, I've just played Elder Scrolls Online because it's what my computer can handle right now, all right? It's what I have available to me. But I feel like writers are just having a really hard time, as of late, or maybe always, of writing characters that are royal without defaulting to, oh, this is how royalty behaves. Bam. I gotta start wrapping up here because, girl, I could go off on so many tangents, and I usually do. Boon number 3. God, it's hard to find boons for this topic because, once again, much like my gold episode, it's kind of just something that I can't find a whole lot of positives about. You know what? For boon number 3, we're going to go with the concept, the archetype of the ruler. Do you guys know about the Jungian archetypes, the 12 archetypes? It's like innocent, adventurer, rebel, outlaw, etc., etc. One of them is the ruler. The ruler is an interesting archetype in the sense that you immediately think of somebody in power, right? But it's not necessarily somebody who is in power. It's more so the person who knows how to behave with power, or knows how to use power, or seeks power. The ruler archetype is a very interesting object lesson in teaching those of us who have yet to develop the confidence to stand up for ourselves, to assert ourselves and occupy our space. It sounds stupid and like woo-woo and whatever, but it's true. A lot of us could learn a lot from behaving as if we were royalty. Not in the sense that everybody needs to bow to us, but behaving how a leader should. You know what I mean? A lot of us don't have to be leaders, but we should take notes from good leaders. Bane number 3 is that royalty hasn't really gone anywhere, has it? It's just changed. Now we call them politicians, presidents, celebrities. Royalty is still amongst us, it's just in a different format. It's just undergone an evolution. It's found a new place in society, a new way to exist here. And it's just awful. It's awful because with that royalty comes feelings of entitlement. It comes hoarding of wealth. It brings a desire to subjugate others to your rule. It's just, it's no bueno. It's no bueno. It's not great. It's n'est pas bon. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Something else. Something else. Do my eyebrows. Something else. So yeah, overall, it's going to be the first time in a while I'm going to give royalty an overall Boon or Bane score of Bane. Yeah, I don't see any good coming from the concept of royalty, the concept of divine right, divinely chosen, the concept of innately better than others. That's shitty. And we all know it's shitty. So we really shouldn't still be doing it now, should we? Let's get that shit out of here. This new century is all about eradicating the radically rich. And I think royalty is a great place to start. But not drag royalty. That's different, okay? We're still men in wigs tucking our dicks into our assholes for a couple $1 bills, all right? We are parodies of the rich. Drag queens are today's jesters. They exist to keep those in power in check by humbling them. Jester's privilege, baby. We have Jester's privilege now. So I hope you all liked this episode that was almost exclusively me rambling. What have any of them been, really, besides that? If you did like this episode, please like this episode. Leave a comment. Share the episode with whoever the fuck you think might like it, or that you think might hate it. Just make sure that you make sure that they don't know how to leave a comment so that I don't have to deal with that. And then if you haven't subscribed, you should subscribe. How have you gotten this far and not subscribed? I think you and I could probably be pretty good friends. And maybe something more. Coworkers. That's really all this is. It's just a job fair. That's why I don't bring a whole lot of useful information to the table, baby. Oh, and then after you subscribe, make sure you hit that nifty little notification bell so that you get new alerts every time I post some brand new plant-based, clowny, cartoon, cross-dressing cartoon content. I said cartoon twice, but I think it's important to emphasize that the only good royalty is in cartoons. And not even then. Not even necessarily then. Love ya. Bye. Oh wait, I have an outro. Hold on. Once again, my name is Daisy Maize, and I am wishing you all some very happy days. I'm the most powerful girl in the land. With a wave of my hand, I can give a command, but it's just like whatever. 'Cause they don't understand. Look at my life from the outside and sure, I've got servants and tigers and stuff. You're probably thinking, she's got everything. Well, it's true, 'cause I do, but so the fuck what? It's not enough. Twisted is my favorite Star Kid musical of all time, and I will fucking fight somebody on the fact that it is superior. Thank you, good night. I will be accepting no comments or concerns or critiques on that. None of them.